Tuned in to Fresh FM 102.9, the heart and soul of Namibia on a good Friday. And joining me live in studio, as promised, since since lunchtime, I've been telling you guys today is a special day. We're going to be joined by a living legend. Funny enough, let me quickly tell you a story, but first let me introduce you. This is Fire16. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm great. So, I think 4 or 5 years ago, before time in the Beninging, I was at a school in my primary school days. I was at a school called Moses van der Bijl, and you did a visit there. And long time ago, exactly, long time ago, you did a visit there, and I was just like, that guy is so cool. That guy is such a great rapper. Because I used to rap back in the day as well.
Wow. Okay.
And I was like, I would like to do that one day.
Yeah.
Right? And then boom, full circle.
Boom, we're
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I had no idea.
So it's great having you in studio. It's an honor and privilege for me to see it come full circle, and I get to talk to you.
Thanks.
So I'm a big fan, by the way.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for making time. Now let's talk about you. Right? When did you figure out that maybe being a doctor, those things are not for me, but you'd like to become a rapper?
So I think. So I was like more. I actually got into engineering. So I was doing engineering studies, and then during my time in engineering, I would sit down and write music and just put tracks together, and then it got to a point where I was like, you know what, let me try to get into performing, get out there, let me just get into it. And so eventually I started. I performed at my local church. And then next thing you know, I got more, I was keen on doing more shows, and then I looked for opportunities, and then I got out there and I was like, you know what, I think let me get into this further, let me put out more songs and, expect some calls, like, can you come perform Fire16? And eventually it started happening. But I used to hide it from my parents, though.
Yeah.
African parents.
Yeah, you have to be a rapper.
You want to be a rapper? No, you must engineering, medicine.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just keep it on the low, do my thing. Maybe one day it'll work out, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, this is, he can take care of us from this, So, eventually, I mean, that's not really happening. It's not really going like that, but they came to accept it at some point.
Okay.
So it gives me more confidence, and most importantly, it's nice to just share the gospel through music as well.
Exactly. Now let's dive into the name Fire16. Right. Where did it come from?
Fire16. So I was sitting in my room, jotting down so many different names, and then boom, I was like, you know what? I have a burning passion for my faith, for Jesus. So let me, put the fire in for the passion. And then at 16 is when I gave my life to God.
Wow.
Yeah. So, ever since then, it's Fire16.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now you did mention that you eventually kicked off at your local church and your faith as well, gave your life to Christ at the age of 16. Right. Now let's dive into that. And we see this there's a divide per se. It's like, okay, cool, I'm a born again Christian,
right? Or
am I a gospel singer? There's a divide in between. It's like there's some people that are like, I'm a born again Christian, but I'm not a gospel singer. I still sing inspirational stuff. I'm not a gospel singer. But then there's born again gospel singers. Where do you fall in, and what do you think about the divide between the two?
So that's the top. So from my understanding, you're saying there's like the ones that are just like gospel singer, and then they're just the singer part. Yeah. And then there's those that actually live in it, and they are the singer. They carry the message as well.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. So where I fall in between the two, I'm both. I live it, and as much as I create the music.
Yes.
So like when I started music, you asked how I started and everything. When I started at 16, I actually was a secular artist before. So, I used to rap about things I didn't have and, this and that. You know the drill. Yeah, exactly. So when I gave my life to God, that changed. Actually, at some point I wanted to leave the music. But then I thought, you know what, I could actually, I met some guys and said, you can actually, rap and use your gift for God. And so I didn't feel ready at the time. So I said, you know what, let me dive into the word of God, get to know God personally, build that relationship. I used to go to church, but like I never really fully understood things, so I wanted to get my own perspective. And so, eventually, I spent some time in the Word, like a year doing back to back. I read the whole Bible. I was like, okay, I know some scriptures here. So I started writing music as well. So that's what I mean. Like I'm fully, like I dive into it fully. Like I live it. It's not just music. I have to study scriptures before I write music. Or it will come from a lesson or topic or something like that. So everything I write is biblical. It's based on the Bible, and it's also based on my life experiences and where God falls into those situations as well. Yeah. So it's not just music. It's based on what I live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about music and art in itself. It's that you can tell your story within your art,
100%.
And I think 100%. that's the biggest gift that artists have.
I'm telling you, and when it comes to rap, I always say with rap, it's more, a worship song and rap are two different things. So with rap, you can say a lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas a worship song, there's fewer words. It's more chorus based, but with rap, you can tell a story, you can preach, you can do anything. So. You create sermons, I create sermons
within the
music.
song. Yeah. That is really cool. We'll take a short break. I have a really cool question for you that I think we should dive into, and it's about the tongue twisters, the people that rap really quickly, right? And gospel music and Christian music is about the message,
right?
But I wanted to see your perspective with reference to gospel rappers that are like
double time.
Double time. So keep it locked right here in the studio with Fire16. It's going to be cool. First, let's quickly check in with specials.com.na. You are tuned in to Fresh FM 102.9, the heart and soul of Namibia. That was Fire16's with That's For Lee. Still joining us live in studio is Mr. Fire16 himself, the legend, the living legend himself. And we'll talk about the message, right? And the message that you are essentially giving out through your music, that is essentially blended in with your faith as well. And then I was looking at rappers that, tongue twist and are rapping really quickly. Now, how does that work in a type of music that is message oriented?
Okay, right. Yeah. I think the first question is, can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear what they're saying? Usually, because that's the most important thing, is because you want to deliver a message, even if you're tongue twisting. We call it double time. Some call it double time. So is the message clear?
Yeah.
So the thing is, it does work. And not everyone agrees with it as well. Yeah. So some people, I think people don't agree with it because it all sounds like deep rap. It's like gangster. It's from the streets. Like how does that relate to God? Like how can you have a message that's being just put out that way?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it still has a message, and the important thing, I think, to be honest with you, I think if you can't hear it, then you shouldn't listen to it. Yeah. Usually, I mean, there's some people that can listen to double time artists, but some people can't.
They can't.
Yeah,
exactly.
They'll be like, hey, well, what are you saying? These kids, they just blah, 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 So I don't think it's for everyone. I think it's for a certain crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of crowds, different types of musicians attract a different crowd, and there's a lot of trends that come and go, and now we live in a digital era where everything is about trends. So if something's happening, it's probably on TikTok, it's probably on and everyone is doing this, and then we have a shift in artists, and it's like they always want to hop on the trend that's moving. And what do you think about that? Do you think it's fine to hop on a trend that's moving? How do you adjust your craft to kind of cater to these trends, and how do you maintain still staying true to the brand of Fire16 and the message behind that as well?
Yeah, so keeping up with the trends is one tough, thing for me. Like you said, I'm a legend. I'm an old guy, bro. I'm like 90 years old right now. I'm kidding, but the generation that's coming and that's here is, there's so many apps, and I was complaining the other day, to someone saying, man, I can't keep up because I do everything for myself. Like I have to post my, for example, my new single, That's for Lee. I have to promote it myself. So I have to go into my socials. I have to post it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, what you call all these things. And like, I know there's like, you can easily share everything at once from one, but it's like it's a complicated thing when it comes to, just promoting your work. So I'm trying to keep up with that. And in terms of, just the trends, like I think what's trending now is you being able to have people play your song on TikTok. If you can get your song into someone's video on TikTok and they dance to it, and chances are it's going to spread. Yeah, someone will use it. You can, it can keep being used. So that's a challenge for me, keeping up with the trends. I think the best thing to do would be to find someone that can do that and assist with that. So that's quite a challenge, but the message regardless stays the same. I'm very much about the message. I'm trying my best, by God's grace, not to compromise it. And I still have old listeners, like people who still listen to music, and it's encouraging when you have that. Then it keeps you going. It keeps you knowing that, oh, for sure, there's someone listening. There's someone that appreciates what you're doing. So it keeps you going, and you keep doing it. And I think I've been doing a lot of school tours as well. I go to school, like you said earlier. I came to your school, so you see the children in the school halls and everything. They still appreciate what you're doing, even if you come from that old school place of, just, I don't know, like just using one social media outlet, Facebook. If you're not on TikTok, you're not popping. But yeah, it's yeah.
Okay, and I think it's like you said, it's very important, to hop on it. But I like that even if you're on one, it's like you're on everything.
You're on everything, exactly. You're on one, you're on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's dive into the song we played now. That's for Lee.
Yeah.
What's the message behind it? What's the message behind the title, by the way? Who is Lee? Can we meet him someday? So let's talk about the message behind That's for Lee.
He's definitely not from China. Start off there. He's definitely not from China. So Lee's me, Lee's you, Lee's everybody. The message, I don't even know. I struggle to name the song, actually, but I was like, oh, that's for Lee. Since I keep saying that, let me just put that there. So Lee is everybody. And the message behind the song is, we live in a world where people have privileges, and you have a privilege to help someone. Sometimes money ain't always the answer. Sometimes just being there for someone, just showing them, love, being open to help them, looking out for each other. You've got their back in some way. It really can change the world. So in the song, I talk about a guy struggling, sleeping in his car. Obviously he's struggling financially. There's some guy as well who has access to finances. He has a mansion. He has the ability to help people, but he's not helping people. So in the song, I'm just talking about us being here for each other. We need to love each other, show love. Money is not always the answer, but at least be there for someone. It's a very important thing. It can make a difference in someone's life. So that's the point. And then Lee is basically us. Like we're like Lees. We are all Lees. We need to be there for people. Lee needs to be open to give, to show love, to help, and help people in the streets, help with people struggling and everything. that's the message behind it. It's just
Wow.
love. Yeah.
Okay, that is fantastic. Now we have about 4 minutes left, and I have one more question for you. And then on Fresh FM we do things the right way. And I always say the right way is the live way. So prepare something there in the back of the mind.
Okay.
But I'm looking at, because you did say you are a man of the faith, right? So
Right.
you've given your life to Christ.
Right.
And now the question is, how does one find the balance? And especially people with the message are the people that are privileged, right?
Right.
And with
right.
that privilege,
Yes.
how do you find, or how do you draw and make sure and draw importance in that fact of sharing the message to other people? And more often than not, people don't want to receive things.
Right.
And people have their own perspectives and of opinions and all that jazz, and they have their own truths, because we're a generation of, hey, this is my truth, it's your truth, keep your truth away from my truth, you know? But being someone of the faith,
Right.
it's about objective truths, right?
Right.
And you live with an objective truth. And how do you make sure, and how can you to tell people that, look, believe in your truth, and how do you find a way in bringing that out to other people and being still convicted in what you believe in as well, and trying your best not, to step on toes, because we'll step on toes either way. But how do you do so in a loving manner?
So I won't lie. Lately, I've been trying to find that balance. You know, like I could do it, like just walk up to anyone and just, share the message.
Yeah.
Like you said, people get offended. People are like, hey, I didn't ask for this. You believe in your truth. I believe in mine. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I didn't really care. But then I got into like doing work for corporates, and most of my time goes to work. I'm a grown person now, so I need to live, survive. And so those are areas where I feel the need to share. But then it becomes a challenge, because now you're torn between work and the message. You have these battles with it. Please.
A whole
please.
plate, the whole pot.
The whole plot. And after the album, we're going to do something big. Yeah,
Yes.
but I'll talk about it later. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's Fire16 right here live in studio. For me, it's Adios on Sprat Mora. I'm a bit of a beatboxer, so I'll give you a beat and then we'll dive straight into it, okay? You've tuned in to Fresh FM 102.9, the heart and soul. And maybe for me, it's Adios on Fire16. It's...
Thank you. Like, listen. Listen. I'll take you to the top like a seesaw so that you can see something. This is why I'm so sunny, cause I got the sun in me. The son of man forgotten me. Never, I'm always in his memory. You can call me terabyte, cause Satan I'ma terrorize. Put you on display, I'ma televise. Piece of advice, devil you should back off. Risen like a takeoff, the Christ here to wake up. No time for that pillow stuff. I know you can't bear truth, it's heavy like a kilogram. Sweeter than some bread and jam, something like a windmill. It's time to blow away your fans. Never been to Smallville. I know a superhero, never had to shake his hands. His name is Jesus Christ.
Woo! What did you say about terabyte?
Satan. I was like, Satan. What did I say?
Memory like terabyte, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's about Satan. Terrorize, terabyte. Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Fire16. It's been cool. It's time for Fresh Air.